A hunt for American youth to hunt down the next American enemy. War Incorporated, a robust business machine, is operating at full capacity in the U.S.
You get the strength to change the way people see you. There's strong, and then there's Army strong.
From televised ads to Hollywood blockbusters, to video games, to American presidents dubbing soldiers the real patriots.
Each of them adds honor to what it means to be a soldier, sailor, airman, Marine, and Coast Guardsman.
The image of the American warrior is portrayed as that of the invincible hero. Times Square, one of the #1 entertainment spots in the Big Apple, attracts millions from around the world and across the U.S. Apart from the flashy lights and the billboards, there's a recruitment center right here, one of hundreds just in New York. The mesmerizing techniques luring young Americans into serving are more sophisticated than ever before.
Sponsoring video game tournaments and paintball tournaments, and then going up to these young kids who perform well and say, hey, the U.S. military needs you. We see your skills at this video game. And of course, to a young 15 or 16 or 17-year-old, this is something that's very enticing.
It's a cruel and deceptive type of recruitment. They want to use all the hippest tools they can to make being in the military as cool as possible.
Now a cinematographer, Edward Pages dedicated 10 years to being a U.S. soldier. He thought it was the honorable thing to do.
If they presented the military for what it was, I don't think anyone would join.
But they do join, having played one computer game and seen one war movie too many.
There's no second chances in real life. You can reset a game, you can restart a movie. There's no second chances when you're actually out there and your life is at risk for something that most of these young men have no idea really the true reasons why they're even out there.
By the time some of these reasons are realized,
to expand military influence and domination in these regions of the world that are currently off limits to U.S. imperialism.
It is often too late.
The problem is that a lot of these kids don't know once they get in, it's hard to get out.
For some, the way out is suicide. A military report says 80% of soldiers in Afghanistan have seen a friend killed or injured. The gore of war quickly replacing its promised glory. Yet nothing stops the military propaganda campaign.
Now they're spending hundreds of millions of dollars every year on recruiting people, glorifying war, glorifying the killing of people, whether it's necessary or not.
A dire economy at home also comes in handy for the Pentagon.
There's a joke in the military that the best recruiter is an economic downturn.
And that recruiter is raging on.
What happened after 2008 that solved their problem was the desperation of millions of Americans. We had an economic crisis. We've had unemployment zoom up.
No matter the times, the power of the Pentagon seems eternal.
American leaders do not become presidents by challenging the national security, the national security state, nor the military-industrial complex. They just don't do it.
Meaning luring in more young Americans into more wars with no happy end or game over in sight. Anastasia Churkina, RT, New York.
Shalom. Giving all glory, honor, and praise to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Racha Kwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone who teach and rule well. Shalom to the elect out there pushing this truth in all sincerity and in 4 quarters of the earth. Lord willing, we be of that number. It's your brother Tabari Yakunah coming at you with a lesson. Lord willing, it's edifying. I want to go into Memorial Day. I just showed a clip. Memorial Day. I think it was yesterday. And let's go ahead and grab a definition for Memorial Day, or actually memorial. Okay, because just to get a quick definition of memorial. Memorial. This is from the online etymology dictionary. Says is the noun fame, renown, reputation. Also a commemorative gesture, monument or rite in general, something by which the memory of a person, thing, or event is preserved, a record, a report. And so, they celebrate this Memorial Day for those soldiers that make up Esau's army, the fallen soldiers that make up Esau's army. But Esau really don't give a crap about you, soldiers. Esau is the son of perdition, which means the son of destruction. That's twofold. He brings forth destruction, and he's meant to be destroyed. He's a vessel meant to be destroyed, man. Esau, the so-called white man. All right. If you go into the book of Revelation, into the three unclean frogs, let's grab that real quick. You'll see that this is part of this military industrial complex, is a part of the give me a second. Revelation 16 and 13 says, "And I saw three unclean spirits like frogs come out of the mouth of the dragon." The dragon represents the super elite. Salakia. More accurately, I would say the dragon is the revival of the ancient Roman Empire. The revival of the ancient Roman Empire. Port the dragon. So you got the military portion, which is one frog. That would be DC. The Pentagon here in America. And we're talking about Memorial Day. This is the home of the brave, right? So to speak, right? It's really the home of the stupid, man. Harry Kissinger has a quote. I'll see if I can get it real quick. Harry Kissinger, he's like a Secretary of State, I believe, at one point in time. But I'll just get his quote real quick. He was a government official in Esau's government. But let me see. Find it real quick. Salakia for the delay. All right. All right. Henry Kissinger. His quote was, grab this. Military men are just dumb, stupid animals to be used. Give me a second. I'm looking at these images real quick, trying to get a real quick synopsis. Military men are just dumb, stupid animals to be used as pawns in foreign policy. This is Henry Kissinger, man. I mean, if you look at this is a real Edomite devil, man. I'm gonna snap this pic. This guy, if he don't look like, a piece of crap, I don't know who does, but Esau is wasted away, man. You can see it in his flesh. Who is Henry Kissinger? Let's see, just to get a title of him real quick. This is who they, these are your leaders in Babylon the Great, which is America. Henry Alfred Kissinger is an American diplomat, political theorist, geopolitical consultant, and politician who served as United States Secretary of State and National Security Advisor under the presidential administrations of Richard Nixon and Gerald Ford. Yeah, let's grab that too. So, yeah, this devil, man, you know, you got little poor people that fight for the policies of the beast system, which we went into that in the Revelation, the 16th chapter, 13th verse, going into the three unclean frogs. To finish up the unclean frogs, the other three, so we got one as being Pentagon or DC. The other is London, or the super elite out of London. You know, that's the financial portion. And then you got the religious portion, which is the Vatican, you know, which is where Catholicism comes from. Basically, you got the Pope, okay? So these are the three unclean frogs that help give power to the beast, all right? The revival of the Roman Empire, okay? The image of the beast, man. And we're going to go into how, you know, Israel, which are the so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, and those that come out of the seed lines of that nation. We can look like other people too, not necessarily so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, but it's a seed line thing. But those Israel has its own army. Scriptures speak on how Israel is, let's grab that battle axe of war, right? Is the Lord's battle axe. This is Jeremiah 51 and 20. Let's go to 19. The portion of Jacob is not like them. Right, Jacob being Israel, name was changed to Israel. We are a set apart people. We are a holy. Holy means to be set apart. Okay. For he is the former of all things. You know, so in the beginning of everything, man, basically. You know, like all these heathen, all these other nations copied off of us, man. They're kind of like reflections of us, even our wicked nature, you know. You know, I think the scriptures speak on how even in our wicked nature, we have done more wickedly than the wicked, you know. So some of these, you know, these wicked nations, these heathen, they see us doing wickedness and they copy that wickedness and they multiply it and force it against us. You know, the Israelites, man, because they were all confederate against us, man. Psalms 83. So, Jeremiah 51 and 19, reading on, and Israel is the rod of his inheritance. A rod is like a correction tool. The Lord of hosts is his name. The Lord, it's all in caps, Yahweh of hosts, meaning armies, is his name. You know, so we believe in the Lord's name. It is Yahweh, which means he exists, or he is, man. Yah, meaning he, Hawa exists. Okay? Yahweh Shai is the only begotten Son, which means he delivers, or he is salvation. The one that the world ignorantly calls Jesus in Christ, you know. So the names are very important, man. They are Hebrew names, not Latin